Today we're going to be fixing the most annoying issue I've ever had on the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon you see behind me. Now in our most recent trip off-road, whenever we were testing out the new rough country suspension, we had a big issue. Right whenever we got to one of the hardest parts of the trail or the obstacle, the lockers would not engage. Now I went through everything to see if it was something simple from where I installed the lift, maybe where I unplugged the cord running to the lockers, but none of that seems to be the issue. So today we're gonna have to dive in deep and see if we can figure out how to get this squared away. Now, like I already said, I did try to trace down all the wiring to make sure that wasn't the issue, and all the wiring is, perfect. There's no issues with it at all. Now, at the same time we did the new lift kit, we also did the rear diff skid plate. So what I'm gonna do first is take that off and see if that could possibly be our issue. Now, to give you a little bit more insight, let me show you exactly what's happening whenever I'm trying to engage the locker. So essentially, I'll put it in neutral here. We'll go down to 4-wheel low. I do have with the JL Taser where we can engage the lockers in 4-wheel high, but regardless, put it back into drive. Now we'll go down to our rear locker. And I'll move forward, because sometimes you do need to move forward, and I'll go backwards. As you can see, it's not changing anything. For some reason, it just will not engage. They are magnetic lockers, magnetically actuated lockers, so maybe having that much metal down there could mess it up. I don't really know, but we're gonna find out soon enough. All right, and now that we've got those off, let's just see if it'll work now. I know it's a shot in the dark, but we might as well test it out before we dive too deep into this. Roll forward for it. And nothing. So, skid plate is not the issue. So first, let's drain all the oil out of our rear diff here before we take that cover off. I've got 20,000 miles on this thing right now, and I actually have not ever changed my diff fluid yet. Keep in mind, this is a 2021. We've taken it out on the drag strip. We've beat it up off-road. So I'm kind of excited to see what is in here. It's definitely got a little bit of sludge on it, some metal shavings, but it doesn't seem like anything too crazy yet. Now with these magnetic lockers, there is an actuator in there that does go bad. There's also a position sensor that sometimes throws everything off. So there are a few different possibilities here. And if we go on the inside and nothing looks like it's too messed up, I also have a solution for that. But it's good to go ahead and change the diff fluid now and see if there is any carnage on the inside. On my JK, I actually had the locker mess up whenever it was engaged, so it was permanently locked. And we had to replace the entire assembly because the actual actuator isn't something you could buy separately. So they actually replaced the entire locker assembly and everything under the factory warranty, which was pretty crazy. Ooh. There is certainly some metal in here. If you look right in here, see all those metal shavings that are attached right there? Now that is our magnetic actuator, I believe. And I'm going to say some of this stuff wrong. I don't know all the technical terms, but you should be able to see that right there. That is all metal shavings right there where it's not supposed to be. So let's clean that out and see what we can do. Now I'm going to start it up and see if we can see it trying to actuate in there. still no luck, even with that. Well, I don't think the amount of metal that's on there now could be enough to mess it up. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's the issue. But I didn't even notice this right here on the back side. This is all gummed up metal too, attaching to the opposite side of that magnet. Well, it's the next day here, and since none of the things we tried yesterday seemed to fix our locker issue, we only have one last hope. So Z Automotive sent us out a awesome care package here. Essentially what you're going to see here are the Z locker OEM. We got one for the front and rear, and then we also have the OEM locker extensions. So as we all know, the locker systems in the JLs and the JTs, they have been super problematic. Once the locker system is in fault state, the locker will no longer engage. The repair normally would be to replace the sensor, but the parts, like I already said, are not available separately. The best thing would be to replace the locker assembly, but that's not available either. The current solution is to replace the entire axle assembly, like I said, but due to the commonality of this problem, they are on national back order. The Z-Locker OEM solves the problem by bypassing the problematic sensor. It allows the locker to operate without the position sensor, yet provides the proper feedback to the Jeep's computer to keep the system operational without any error warnings. The installation is supposed to be pretty simple, so let's go ahead and jump to it and see if we can get these lockers working again. So first we'll unplug this. And then we'll plug it in down here at the bottom. And you hear that snap in. And it should work. If that fixes it, I'm going to be super, super surprised. So let's go in the vehicle and see if we can actually watch this actuate now. Let's go to neutral. See if the rear locker will engage. Rear axle locked. You have got to be kidding me. Now let's test four-wheel low. Now this is going to tell us if our issue is with the front and the rear position sensors, or if it was just with the rear. I assumed it was just with the rear, essentially because whenever I tried to engage the rear, it wouldn't lock, and I believe they do lock in sequence. So let's do front and rear. Front and rear axles locked. You've got to be kidding me. That little part was all that we needed. Now for you guys that are used to using lockers in the JLs and JTs and all the Rubicon models, you'll know that there is a delay. Now in the Bronco Raptor, it's instant. Every time I press it, it is engaged or disengaged. It's really, really fast. So I think this bypass module is probably something similar they have in the Broncos. I'm not actually sure, but maybe their position sensor is set up differently to be more similar to this one because it's almost instant engagement. So a huge thank you to Z Automotive for not only sending that out, but actually supporting the channel. They've actually been watching the video, so I really appreciate that. But I'm going to go ahead and install it in the front as well, because if that issue does pop up for the position sensor in the front, that's definitely something that I want to be sure I can tackle, and I don't have to worry about it out on the trail. Now, if you just buy one of these, that's a good option too, because if you don't already have the issue, you're going to at some point. So you could put this in your glove box, keep it in there, and then if you have an issue, you simply plug it in. You saw how easy it was. But just to be safe, I definitely recommend getting two and going ahead and installing them. That way you can guarantee you're not going to run into any issues. Now with the locker extensions here, essentially, it's the same practice you just saw before. So if we have this undone, then we would plug it in right here. Then we plug this in right here. And we've got that extra length that we would need. Now we can refill it back up. Now what I'm using on this is Valvoline 75W90. It's synthetic, so it's going to be a little bit better than the 75W85, I believe is what they call for. I just prefer to use the synthetic. It's pretty much the same cost. But I do like these little bags. I had a friend that came over and changed out his gear oil, a few weeks ago, and he had these little bags, and it really helps you maximize getting everything out of them, and it's just way easier to work with, especially for like littler cars. On the Jeeps, it's not as big of an issue, but I just thought these bags were pretty cool, and I hadn't seen them yet.
Daddy.
What are you doing?
What have you been doing out here?
Working on the Jeep.
What has Bob been doing out here?
Playing. And what I do is I just fill it up till it's about to come out of the drain plug right there. I'll let it drain a little bit until it is all pretty much flush. Now we'll put just a little bit of new Teflon on here. Now, something to note with the front end here, it's not as easily serviceable, so we don't have a drain plug on it. We're just gonna have to take off the cover. We do have a fill plug, of course, right back there. You can't really see it for the tie bar. And the last thing left to do is just to install our Z-locker. And just like that, we're all good. Now we also have another product we're going to be installing today, and this is from a company you guys already know. If you all will remember the gold wheels that we put on the Rubicon 392 to set the world record the first time at the drag strip, that company is Rocktrex. Aside from the Jeep wheels, they also sent out the wheels that we run on the Bronco Raptor, and I've had some great luck out of all their stuff so far. So whenever I saw that they'd come out with something else for the Jeep, I knew I had to have it. So this is essentially a bull bar that is going to mount directly to our OEM steel bumper. Now, as you can see, it has a textured material that's going to flow perfectly with the factory front bumper. And I believe this is going to be the perfect height to where we can still retain all the functionality from our camera, and it's going to obviously offer a little bit more protection and look cooler. So let's mount it up and see how it looks. And now we've got it all installed, and I've got to say, I love the look. Now with this, it mounts in those 3 locations like you saw, and it's honestly pretty darn sturdy. And it does give us plenty of clearance to still be able to see everything out of our trail cam. So I think this is the perfect size, and like I already said, I really love the fitment on it. It looks great, and it is going to offer us quite a bit more of protection. So if you want one of these, I will put the link down in the description below. A huge thanks to Rocktrex, as always, for sending out some awesome stuff for us to test out and install. Now, since we're all done with that, let's go ahead and fix one of our other issues that we ran into. We have smashed up these exhaust tips countless times, and I'm just about done with it. So what I'm gonna do is disconnect these, and then we're gonna put the X pipe back on, and it'll dump right before the rear axle right there. So that should look good. These are kind of annoying to get off, but I think it will perform a lot better for us off-road. And with that X pipe, it does give it a little bit of a different sound. And since the other diff covers did not fit, I'm going to put the rear diff skid plate back on from Rough Country. Well, now that it's all finished up, let's see if we can hear any difference with the new exhaust on here. Well, now that we've got it all put back together, I've definitely got to say that the exhaust has a little bit more of a rumble. But the more important thing is that these Z-lockers have really fixed all of our issues. I was super worried whenever we actually found out on the trail that the lockers would not engage. I was going through a laundry list of issues to figure out what it could possibly be. But sure enough, that's all we needed, that $179 part. So a huge thank you to them for sending out these awesome products to really get us back out on the trail. And a big thank you to Rocktrex for sending out that awesome bull bar push bar. It looks great on the Rubicon 392, and I really think it pulls the look all together. I honestly believe that every Rubicon that is out on the trail definitely needs to go ahead and make this upgrade, before you run into a situation where you actually need it. With these, you're not going to have to worry about that position sensor messing everything up. And just so you guys know, Z Automotive is the same company that I use for the JL Taser, and let me tell you, that thing's worked great and flawlessly ever since. That's the same thing that I used to actually be able to put the Rubicon 392 into two-wheel drive, and it's got a million other features. If you want to get any of the products from them, check them out down in the link in the description below. And if you want to check out the Rocktrex products, check them out in the description below as well. Huge thank you to all of you for watching, and if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next. But until then, Godspeed.